Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. We have a 2-game slate on Saturday on DraftKings for week 18. Look, you guys know I don't like Saturday games. I don't like Saturday slates. It breaks up my content week. It adds more stuff for me. It is what it is. At least we have 2 really good games, or 2 high scoring possible teams here. Kansas City against Denver and Dallas travels to Philadelphia. High octane offense, at least from 3 of those teams. Putting us in a situation where at least we have a fun slate to watch. They're going to kick off in the afternoon. There will be showdown slates for both of these. I'm going to take a look at it from the 2-game perspective. Obviously, you guys can go and do the things that you need to do when it comes to building your lineups for showdown stuff. Watch all of our showdown videos, how to win on DraftKings Showdown. All those same principles are going to apply. We've talked about them on every single showdown video that there has been. What you do need to do is stay nimble, because I'm recording this video on Wednesday morning on the West Coast, and we've learned through the last 4 weeks or so that anything can change at the drop of a hat. We had a couple players ruled out this morning due to being placed on COVID restrictions for the Sunday slate. We would be remiss if we did not say that there would probably be a couple of players who are going to be ruled out by the time the weekend gets here. Thursday, Friday, they're going to test out of this game. They're going to be put in health and safety restrictions, which is going to create a little bit more value somewhere along the way. So be nimble, set yourself up for it, and realize that when I recorded this video, it's very possible that some of the guys we're going to talk about were around, and maybe they won't be around on the slate by the time Saturday gets here. So thank you all for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell. Let's go.
He's a legend.
All right, so like I said, look, totals are down across the board in week 18, right? Like, look at all these, not one with a total of 50 on Saturday or Sunday slates. The Sunday night game has a little bit of a high total, but like Kansas City and Denver, 44.5. KC favored by 10.5, 27 total. Not much expected on the Denver side, as they've been a very slow plotting offense that runs through 2 running backs. Can't really challenge through the passing game. They're going to have to throw it if they're going to be effective in this one. Hopefully they don't play from ahead. Fangio's defense has done a really good job this year. The Cowboys, one of the top DVOA defenses in the league, favored by 7 on the road against Philly, who have a total of 18, an implied team total of 18. This one also falling by 1.5 points on the total, and the spread getting larger as the week goes along. So taking a look over on, by the way, this was the free Vegas page on fantasylabs.com. Go to smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L. There's a link down below in the pinned comment. This page is free though. Just go to NFL Vegas and it'll show you all of these things. You can sort by them, who have the highest implied totals on the week, who have the lowest implied totals on the week, to kind of help make your decisions. Where are the lines changing? Which direction have they gone since open? All that stuff. Totally free page. Go check it out on Fantasy Labs. Here's the slate. Let's go team by team, because that's how we did the last Saturday one, and I thought that it worked out pretty well. So we'll start with Kansas City and their really high team total. Patrick Mahomes, extremely good. You're going to have to correlate your lineups, but you have to break some rules when it comes to a 2-game slate, because obviously you're going to end up playing a defense against some of the players that you're using, more than likely, especially for tournaments. You're going to be playing running backs, maybe paired with their quarterback. There's just not as many places for you to go, and you're not going to be able to stay under 130% because there's just less players to pick from. So you have to boost that up as well. Patrick Mahomes has been amazing. It's funny, as soon as everybody said that he sucked, he started throwing for multiple touchdowns every game. I don't think that he took it personal like Michael Jordan took everything personal, but at least we know that this offense can do the things that it is supposed to do. However, they're still getting really cute. Even though Tyreek Hill has gotten the most targets, they fluctuated 10, 2, 13, 4, 5, 11, 10. Great. It's all over the place. The last time they played Denver, he caught 9 of 11 balls, got you 20 fantasy points in that one. The other number 1 target that they have, clearly Travis Kelce, averaging 17.5 fantasy points per game, but even his production has yo-yoed. 7, 13, 4, 8. He's gotten like 3 end zone targets on the year, and guess what? All 3 of those have turned into touchdowns. Maybe you should throw the ball more to Zeus in the end zone if you want to score more touchdowns. Wow, Patrick Mahomes has really regressed in terms of his touchdown efficiency, because you're not throwing it to the guy who makes touchdowns happen in the end zone anymore. Byron Pringle has looked really good recently. Taking over the starting job opposite Tyreek Hill. He is kind of a smallish wide receiver, but way better on a consistency basis than Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman has that game-breaking speed, but unfortunately not really a great football player, though he has all of the requisite game-breaking gifts to be able to get there. He just hasn't put it all together. Route running, not great. Contested catches, not great. Surprisingly, doesn't get a lot of separation because his route running is not all that great either, which has led them to go more towards Pringle, who sits at 3,900, and I expect to be pretty popular value on this slate as well. They're throwing touchdowns to everybody. Like Robinson got in for one on 2 targets this week. 2 weeks ago, we saw one from Josh Gordon in week 14. I got a touchdown on 3 targets. They get near the goal line inside the 10, and they just do random things. Clyde Edwards-Helaire says he has a chance to play on Saturday. So monitor this situation as the week goes on. We'll know inactives beforehand. Obviously, if he's out, Darrell Williams becomes a massive play. Denver, good luck. What we want is not what we're going to get. We want Javonte Williams to be the number 1 guy and get all of the snaps and 85% of the snaps and touches at running back. But because Melvin Gordon III is still a thing, they're just splitting 50-50. So one of them could have a good day. Neither of them could have a good day. We had the one game against Detroit, but again, it's Detroit, not Kansas City, where both of them kind of smashed. I don't expect that sort of an outcome in this spot. So put yourself in a position where you're either taking a stand. I'd probably build a rule that says don't allow both in one lineup, though I understand if you want to do that because it's going to be certainly going to be contrarian. From the pass catcher point of view, Jerry Jeudy, I assume will be back this week as he should be able to clear as he was out last week on health and safety restrictions. The problem is the way that Denver throws the ball with all of their pass catchers healthy. Cortland Sutton, 5 targets max each of the last 2 games. Even in a game without Jerry Jeudy, 4, 4, 6, 6, the last 4 for Jerry Jeudy. Tim Patrick, 4, 5, 5, 5. Noah Fant, last few games, 7, 4, 6, 4, 4. The Broncos are so frustratingly slow, and so Drew Lock is just not good. Frustratingly not great. I know last year he's posted a couple of games where things get out of hand, and maybe that can happen here, and he throws it 45 or 50 times because they're just chasing, and gets accuracy by volume if he completes 25 or 30 passes out of 50 attempts against Kansas City. And maybe because Kansas City's given up so many long touchdowns this year, his pass catchers will make for good tournament plays, but like there's very few paths to any one of them getting like 8 to 12 targets, as they just offensively, schematically like to spread the ball around. Dallas, on the other hand, also spreads the ball around. We have not seen 50 attempt Dak in a while. We love 50 attempt Dak. We're not getting 50 attempt Dak. We're getting 35 to 40 attempt Dak pretty much all the time. And the results have been at least he's thrown 7 touchdowns in the last 2 games. However, if you look at his home road splits, they're way more aggressive throwing the ball with Dak on the road, and he's been more efficient at home than he has been on the road. This being a road game, and not saying that that's a be-all, end-all, and we should put all our eggs in the home road splits basket. It is at a very small sample size, but he's thrown 9 touchdowns on the road, thrown 23 at home. There is something to be said for schematically, offensively, how Kellen Moore calls the game when they're on the road versus when they're at home. And it does appear through that lens that they do things differently. Now, Ezekiel Elliott dealing with an injury. Tony Pollard dealing with an injury, limited participant in Tuesday's practice. Philadelphia has a good offense, and I would expect them to have to throw the ball here. 35 seems to be the floor, unless they get up like just massively. I believe that Parsons is going to be out this weekend due to COVID. Wasn't that the news that came out earlier this morning? Which to me at least means that Philadelphia's offense should have a little bit easier time with very possibly the defensive player of the year, at least he's in the running for it, out. Which means that Dallas might have to throw more if Jalen Hurts, who is also questionable, a limited participant in Tuesday's walkthrough practice. Pay more attention as the week goes on. That Thursday practice will be our, quote, Friday practice. We don't have the Wednesday practice report yet, as this game does kick off on Saturday. Jalen Hurts has been, at best, a fantasy monster, and at worst, in games like last week, just kind of meh, when he resulted in no touchdowns. Efficiency for quarterbacks, not volume, is what leads to fantasy ceiling games. But what gives him a floor is the amount of rush attempts and the rush yards he gets in every one of those games. Also a weapon for a ceiling based on his touchdown upside on the ground. Lot of red on this team. Dallas Goedert placed on COVID on Monday the 3rd. Based on the new restrictions, if he gets that negative test by Saturday, by game time, he may be able to play. We'll see. So, like, a lot up in the air for them. I guess that would mean that Devontae Smith takes over the number one target role for this weekend in the absence, potentially, of a Dallas Goedert. But monitor the situation as it goes along. If you all are still here, make sure you drop a like on the channel and head over to the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel, smizzle.tv/FF. Will get you there. All of my off-season footage. First video is going to be uploaded today with my recap of how my analysis went and how my teams did in 2021 for best ball. Smizzle.tv/FF will take you there. Definitely go check that out and drop a subscribe on it so that all of my off-season stuff for best ball, all my season-long stuff, all of my analysis in the off-season is going to be parked here on Al Smizzle Fantasy Football. So definitely go give that a quick look. We're going to head over to Fantasy Labs. We're going to make our lineups here. We're going to come over here. We don't have to use, like, I'll use my GPP correlation, but I'm going to have to pare it down. We're not going to use this. We're going to just let it do whatever it does. In terms of that, I will allow for tight end in the flex. I'm not going to have all of these things checked. I will force the quarterbacks and the wide receiver. Sorry, this should be quarterback also. I'm going to make sure that the quarterback is paired and double stacked with a bring back in that spot. We'll make our 150 lineups. And it's kind of that easy. Go to smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L to go check out the great tools and content that they have over at Fantasy Labs. Best of luck this Saturday on the Saturday special, the final one of the regular season. Then we get into playoffs coming next week. So thank you all for being here. Drop a like on the video. I'll catch you later. Bye.
He's a legend.